still going to keep the trend with some thunderstorms that are going to be erupting in the southeast. We still have that unrelenting heat that we are experiencing in Texas, and we'll be keeping an eye on the tropics as well. I wanted to start off with that southern discomfort, and when you look at how many days we've had some of that triple-digit heat compared to last year, it is more than impressive. I mean, this is just incredible. Yesterday, we have a front, numbers have been taken down nonetheless. You look at San Antonio, you look at Houston out to Alexandria, Jackson, Mississippi, Shreveport, even extending into southern Arkansas and out to Abilene, and you still have over 26 million people mourning for today. You can still see pockets of dry air, but differences this time around. You can also see a little bit of moisture with that front kind of pushing its way through. We've seen some areas where there have been some isolated downpours, some of those showers we've had, and some of those storms. It's been a little bit cooler at the coast, but that's because you've been dealing with those rounds of downpours, kind of keeping that rain-cooled air in place. But you still have a southerly flow, and your dew points are still 70 plus, making it just exceptional outside. It is just very uncomfortable. Temperatures have been in the upper 80s for your morning, and where do you go? It's still hot across central Texas, Dallas, up into Oklahoma City for today. Fronts trying to press through. It's still steamy with those storms right along your coastal areas. You switch over to a little bit of some pleasant conditions across the Central Plains, and I think you'll notice that more so because of the dew points. It will feel a little bit better. But you saw some pop-up showers here during the day with that boundary pressing south. You might see a few more rumbles of thunder and some storms across East Texas, stretching into Louisiana late tonight. So for today, it's still baking out here. You're looking at San Angelo 103, Dallas 105, Houston 102 for today. It's another record challenge. Are going to be 110 to 115, extending out from that. You look at Victoria, you look at Dallas. I mean, you just continue on with the unrelenting heat, and it continues for Thursday too, especially across West Texas, the panhandle of Texas, up into the panhandle of Oklahoma. There is that change up with that front that did press through that will affect a few places in a good way. Your winds coming out of the north for your Thursday, so it's a little bit of a contrast where it'll be seasonable. Still warm, yes, still warm. but not as much humidity in the air, so I think you'll notice a boiling in a place like Wichita all the way down to Corpus Christi. We hold on to some showers and rounds of storms again across some of the central Gulf. Also been dealing with this stationary boundary, just bringing numerous showers and storms, causing some travel disruptions, locally severe storms, and some of that localized flash flooding too. And I think that was our biggest concern with the storms across the southeast, was the localized flooding that we could see. And between yesterday and through Friday, how much rain in total for some places where you could get locally higher amounts. We're looking at a general 2 to 4 inches from New Orleans to Tallahassee, stretching up into Wilmington, extending out from that. You could see 1 to 2 inches. So some rain showers we've been seeing over the last 3 hours, and also some downpours we've been dealing with for this morning. It will just increase this afternoon because you're still dealing with lots of moisture in the atmosphere. You're still going to be heating up as well. All of these components coming together and right around that boundary, so keeping the chance of some showers and storms for a place like New Orleans to Jackson, Atlanta, even into Raleigh, from Virginia Beach to Tallahassee, down into Miami. Our heat today is a little more confined when it comes to those Acura, the real fuel temps being in that triple-digit mark, a threshold or above. But it would still feel like 105 potentially in a place like West Palm and even Miami for today. So for today, your midweek is just humid with those storms. We talked about how much rain we can expect here across the Panhandle, and how that's where we're looking at some of those areas for excessive rainfall. But we're also watching areas around I-95. If you're traveling this afternoon or evening and heading around I-95, say around Raleigh, heading down into South Carolina, even heading out from the east to the west around I-20 through Atlanta, you really need to pay attention to the forecast for some of those storms that could pop up and cause some of that localized flash flooding and some of those disruptions in your travel. Best to just pull off to the side of the road. You're still going to be dealing with widespread downpours for Thursday. Also for your Friday as well, drenching storms, excessive rainfall outlook a little bit higher, still confined around the Panhandle and stretching out to the central Gulf Coast. But even across the Carolinas, we do have some concerns for that. The one thing to note with the rain across the southeast, since it's kind of repetitive, it will eventually not be as hot as we have